Assim, obladide yon pribo, obladide obeibo, yon na enotina, oye di blade aboke. Awo wani mo DJ Afla. Mure make on ye teri, bena boy, okro, and everything. I had that we pour so we can cook some food. And that's how my people do it. Let's go.
All right, you're going to see the different version of Alfonso Z and so here this event. I'm Alfonso Z and so welcome. We say happy belated Merry Christmas. It is important that we share this evening with you. All right, so we're going to see a different thing. We're going to have a conversation here openly from December to December. That's huge. You know what's going on. So we're going to be playing some beautiful pieces here this event. And as usual, my contributor, if you want to even come live on video here, put your email address and we're going to bring you. You've been so awesome to us in terms of support. Let's go. We're going to get it right down here this evening. We're still within the corridor of the holidays, right? All right, this is just 7:58 Eastern Standard Time right here from the New England Bureau. I'm Alfonso Z, and so welcome. We say happy Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. We are still within the corridor, so it's no big deal. We didn't do it yesterday. It doesn't mean we can't do it. Let's get going. And we tried our best, the best we can, to give recognition to all of you that are tuning in here this evening. If this is your first time to say Tabonarive, we say welcome. This is Liberia Public Radio. Was a resolution from December 25th to December 25th. That's a huge thing. That's a 1 year gap now. Will we still be the same? We say Merry Christmas. We know what it means to be Christmas, and we are triumphantly, by the grace of God, we're going to be going to New Year. Will you still be the same person? Still cutting a speech? You're not talking to people. You don't respect people's views and opinion. Let's go. Oh, this is courtesy of DJ Anflan right here this evening, taking us on a ride. We're going to do a mix here of Liberian pieces, and if possible, in the interest of African solidarity. We might hear some part of Africa as well. All right, let's go. All right. Okay, just bear with us here a little bit. All right, just bear with us. Just bear with us here a little bit. So we're gonna get it going. Just bear with us. Oh, that's not a good thing here. Just bear with me for. All right, let me see here. Something. Okay. All right, let's get it going here. Let's get it going. Let's get it going here. All right. Okay, let's see here. All right, let's see here. Let's just bear with us here. Very shortly, we're going to get this fixed. Okay, let's see here what's happened. Hopefully, we're going to get the audio right here.
Hyundai Tucson from the brand with the 2020 IIHS Top Safety Awards than Honda, Toyota, or Nissan.
Let's see here. Let's get it going here. All right. All right. Just welcome. Stay tuned. Just let me know. Let me adjust my volume here a little bit. Let's just adjust my volume here a little bit, and we're gonna get this going. All right. Okay. We're still in the corridor of the holidays, and that's how we want to do it this evening. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are. I am Alfonso and so We want to be having a conversation here. It is important for us here at LPR to acknowledge your support, your unwavering financial moral support that you have lent us here on this network to help to maintain civility. It is important from December 25th to December 25th. That's huge. And so we must be able to acknowledge what you can do. So we will do some little bit less talking here. We're going to profile some of the major things that happened during the period of December to December to get us to be where we are. Today is the 26th, of course, and we are gradually, and by the grace of God, we will all triumphantly enter the year 2021. So, what was the lesson to learn? So, we're going to open the line here, of course, and you're going to be calling in here at your will and pleasure. But we're going to take into consideration time. And there are people that are really morning, night, anytime we call on them in terms of help, they're always there to help us. They don't even question as to what we're going to be doing because they believe in us. And this is our own way of giving back to our donors, our contributors, analysts, usually CNNs and those big cable giant news outlet. They pay their analysts, right? Their contributors. But we don't pay these people because of the love of the country and believing that we all must discuss the issues at hand. They all agree that we do what they are doing right now. All right. So we're gonna mix it up here this evening here any kind of way. Sometimes you have to have fun, too much of work without a play, make a jack a dull boy. And I know all of us we are smart people, right? So we're gonna entertain you. We're gonna have we have quality time. Aujourd'hui, c'est samedi, right? Yeah, it's Saturday evening, so let's do it that way. All right, welcome, man. Kezo, Kezelismo. I say good morning, brother. Whatever you are, Kezo, Kezelita, good morning as well to Robert Robertson Susu. Say good morning, good afternoon. Venetians, of course, Venetians is one of our prime time, not just only prime time, valuable donor here. When we did the fundraiser, so let me pause this music here. We're going to be having some music in the background. It's good to give people their flowers while they are alive. I'm not like one of those when someone is dead or when the person doesn't even know what's going on in their own surroundings, and then you begin to quote scriptures or all of their goodness. So we'll try as much as possible to acknowledge some of our folks and all of you by just tuning in, by being a follower. But there are a category of people, right? Mr. Phoenicius Molba is one of our donor here. Not a single day LPR, whether it's a fundraiser for LPR, very certainly we do that. But we always like to put the interest of the country, the interest of other people, by virtue of the nomenclature of our institutions, Liberia Public Radio. I would think it is wise. We serve the interests of the people first, and then we come to ourselves. When it came to the students in Morocco, Vinicius was in the vanguard. Madam Lena Tao was in the vanguard. And many of you people, as we go on, I want to give that recognition. And of course, our own Maki came on board. We were able to be a sponsor, even Venetia again, during the 2020 Maiden Central election. So with all that, these are people that have given so much to the country. Say I know fit but if I love not come today, say you go there with me, they bounce. I got the people no be they bounce. And this is how we're gonna do it in the Liberia way here this evening. All mixed courtesy by DJ Amfly. By the way, if this is your first time joining, this is Liberia Public Radio, Lpr-Tv, right here. That's the diaspora audience news outlet. Quality is what is our primary concern. Oh, very What our man Kazo says, I'm Highway. That is in Liberia. Mama Liberia, Kazo, thank you. Despite of data issue, you're turning in. That's a sacrifice for the country. You want to know what's going on. Good morning. Thank you, my dear brother. Because you're hungry, I'm not eating. And this is how we're going to do it this evening. We're going to mix all, and of course, your phone call is going to be coming in as well. Oh, that's it. Venetia's right there in Philly. The lands of all of the love and sisterly affections. What's up, my man? Baby girl, come shake it for that. Shake it for that. You know, go down. Make sure when you're knee, we don't have insurance for that. If you go down in your own house, anything happen, don't call LPR. Our insurance doesn't extend to that level. All right. Don't let your problems hold you down. Don't let your worries hold you down. In the midst of all of these things, man, we gotta be gracious to the Most High. You know, if you're monitoring news, you know what is going on. To events, man, we gotta be happy and let us have faith and courage and let us be resilient. And here come the guy from Burlington, New Jersey. The play what a pepper can come from there. Pepper, Halle, and then something else. And I'm talking about Mr. Robert Zawu. And our Facebook user, no name, no blame. The guy or he is in this guy. He said, good morning, brother. What's up, man? Whether you're a man or woman, he, whatever you are, so we say good morning. And thank you for tuning in this afternoon. And here comes Elijah Malubai. And Nelly's Robert says he's going to be part of the party tonight, this Saturday. Welcome. Joe is on the bowl. And then we're going to open the phone lines here to make a 1-minute call to see from December to December. That's huge. Tell somebody to happy or belated Christmas, you know. Are you willing to forgive? If we want our country to be built, we have to forgive. We got to let go. For no reason you cut us be, for whatever reason it is. Hey, please throw that back. Mr. Solomon Davis, welcome in the house. And I'm talking about Faith Honora, right? We want to do it a Calypso way here this evening. You want to do the Jew gotta eat the money now. So what's the big deal? And that's why you're paying the money you're paying here for. And that's the man DJ Amfla right here. Very our analyst Amos George, the liberal progressive Samson Branto will most likely be joining this train here. He can't say I even care. The old man is a pain in the neck. I told Pat George, we gotta get this guy, we gotta let him go 2001. But Maki be there. He said no, he should stay there. Yo, DJ Ants. Oh, that's the man himself, DJ Amflan. I'm going to be portraying some major news giveaway here, some of the major things from December to December that happens, and we're going to make it out of a talking point. So get to me, man, don't be acting like bluffer. Just say no, say that. Mani Mantalita, we say welcome to Nisha, Judith, and of course, KW Cole. And Diego Thomas is in the house. Big Papa, wine for Big Papa, Nana. Shaku Shaku for Big Papa. Shalom, Brown Fremont. What's up, man? Shake for Big Papa.
That for big papa, guara for big papa, yeah. Get your pay.
Don't be worried about the politicians. You be worried about the people, your cholesterol, your blood pressure, everything will go over the roof and they will be doing what they're doing. So we gotta forget about them some days and just do our own thing.
Don't worry about the money. We have to the money. I mean, get the money. Now the money can make it sunny. Shake. How we feel in the market. Shake it. And I was still. Big papa, that's for you, papa. Big
Like a boy, we're gonna fake it nice, Saifu, and pay Salma, right?
You wanna love me today, can't tell me now, don't be scary today. You wanna do me, baby.
He ready, lady. You want to delay living here? I stomach was swallowed.
Feeling you my way, I say I'm feeling you my way. You looking nice, baby. I'm feeling you my way.
Sometimes let's do our own thing, you know, and just throw some of these crazy things that have been happening. So let's just throw it back. Look, you have a life to live, and you have to maintain it and do it peacefully. All right. So sometimes it's just bare politics for the meaning. There's no way that we can undo it completely because all our life, what is happening today, is surrounded about politics. All right. But we gotta amuse you, and we just want to be gracious. Most of you and all of you, not most. As long as you turn to this network, you're supported, the civility maintained on this network. That's something that we take to heart. Healers, and my man Mansford, welcome. Patricio and John Tagila. Zabradant Robert. And Mr. Tapper is in the house. Man, the road is trying to get on fire. Oh, my Salon brother, I want to kusha, boy, when I welcome. This is like good public radio now. When I welcome, buddy. If you're from Ghana, I would say when I'm Kwaba. All the things I did say, everything I did do, I will give up on you. No. All the things I did say, all the things I did do. Let's try to forgive somebody, person that so much hurt you down the road for whatever reasons, you know. So let it go. Call that person after this Christmas and say, Merry Christmas. Oh my goodness. Who this other guy here this evening again? This man from Total. Oh, yeah, I think we get right there with a jet of politics, Dara Dillon, Yomi Kanga, Lauren, or Akara Gray. This no. We do our own thing, so man. Come on. Jimmy, don't hate me. Jimmy, you be my boo. Take my hand, Jimmy, Jimmy. As Melaka joins at Dave Tate, those days of E.G. Raw. Forever, don't go now. So you won't leave me, see me, I will treat you fair. One perfect. I beg you now, you bow, you had to, yeah, boy. Please don't be scared, and I don't get scared. Ambassador to Winston Francis State Say, okay, let me bring in this guy here. Let him tell me a little bit about himself. All right, this is the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Number four, so something those days. That's how we used to. We used to book it down at what? You ever went to EJ Road those days of a talent show? Or that time you were dancing to town by man, right? You saw it, people like the Moga band those days.
Yes, yes. When Moga used to play, I used to be the stager. I used to be in the stage and dance.
Thank God for that. What kind of dance you can dance? You ever to dance?
Are you kidding me?
I should get out of this chair. Let's try a string here and see who be who. Let's put
No,
something
no,
down.
no. I'm talking Moga. When we say Moga, we're talking late 70s, early 80s.
Late 70s, early 80s. Abondo supae nyanikatelo. You dance that
Yes,
song?
yes, yes, yes,
You know,
yes.
you
Oh,
put your belly like this. There you go. And the other crowd, man, you know how to dance. My goodness. What?
oh, you know what for
Ooh.
myself.
Oh, man. Okay. Let me just get out of the screen and you can try to find it here. You see? That's what happened when you come in here and so the man with the original pin. That's what happened.
Merry Christmas to all of you, my brothers and sisters. Merry Christmas. LPR say
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. Thanks to all of you guys for your continued support.
Yeah. So it's what happened. You did not come with good intention, and that's how this guy tortured you. You saw how you were going there. Now I end up positioning you. That's why you're coming back to life.
Mr. So, I'm waiting for your partner, Mr.
Look,
Nathaniel Cry.
hold on. You were saying here this place was peaceful. Everybody were enjoying their music. You not come, like brother man say they come where you come. So please, I beg you, please.
Mr. So, like I said, I'm waiting for your partner, Mr. Nathaniel Cryport, to come with his pina. And let's see which one of the pina that got good tail. You see how it's shaking? I ain't even shaking, no. That don't mean who's shaking, no. That the pina says shaking. You see, eh? You see how it's shaking? That don't mean that the pina says shaking. I can tell, okay, pina, stop. You see how it stop? Your own can do that.
This is the original from under the cotton tree.
For cotton tree.
Okay, so Mr. Todd, thank you to welcome. We just thought of doing this to share some quality time with our people. We're going to do some parade on some of the major things that happened from December to December. That's huge. But guess what my little son did to me?
What?
Do it right there. And he said you were going to call your son. And that's what I was calling him. I said, "Don't call you. You don't pick up your phone." The guy, he told me he wanted a computer. But the price he called for the computer, I will wait 2 more before I can get it. So I told him, "Look, boy, okay, I'll get you a computer, but you have to wait." He came in the studio here, did some transfer and saw the transfer slip. So he said, "Oh, Daddy, I see something here." I said, "What?" Before he started, "Oh, when are you buying my computer?" I said, "Oh, okay, I will get it for you. Wait." He said, "No, but I see the transfer here. You send money to Uncle this, that. That's not fair." I was like, "What?" Yeah, that's not fair. So I said, "Look, that you fair, not fair, don't bring that to me." The family said, "No, why they can't find work? They're supposed to be finding work. They are all grown up. You see how they join, how they behave?"
I remember.
And then his
I
little
know.
sister,
I know that.
yeah, he said his sister. He said, "Yeah, no, bless him. Okay, that's fine." That's your daughter. That's my sister. I got brother, uncle. He not responsible.
Exactly. Exactly.
He's not
No.
responsible. He's supposed to find work here. He's supposed to find work in Liberia.
Mm-hmm. You see, but we laugh now, Mr. So, but these are some of the things that we continue to say to our
He
brothers and
says,
sisters
he
back
says,
home.
yeah, not to interrupt you, right? He said something that was sort of touching, and I paused for a little while. I was at work when he called actually, and I just told him, say, you know what, buddy, I want to call you back in the middle or something. And I said this here before. May his soul rest in peace. The late Emmanuel Bertin Nyeswa, one of the auditors from the director, the internal audit director, the late Nyeswa, right? His wife is just like 3 minutes away from me here, and his son and my son, all of the same age group, they are all in the same school. And then later on, from wanting to know, he said, "Oh, okay, I don't think Liberia is good. That country, that's where they killed my friend, died. Can you imagine?" I like, don't say that place. Now,
Hmm.
these children in the ages of 14, 13, they're saying those kind of things.
Hmm.
That is something troubling. So
I know.
a while I get a computer, and I managed to get a computer. The sister came down for holidays. I set it up now, so we are peace. So then it gets where I say, I'm gonna call Gion, Uncle Sanson's son. So, oh, trouble coming. Oh, they got coming spray. He coming be another super spreader here now from
Right, right,
California. I hope he doesn't call, make any phone call down there. Other than that, it will be a problem.
right.
But having said that, something we have come a long way, and LPR, we can say we are the audience. We are the audience online news network. Not if not all significant portions of those people that have their network, the power under the roof of LPR, and we're still here.
Well, in the Liberian community, as far as I'm concerned, there was these two guys, and they started the internet radio in Washington D.C. Sapio, two guys, but they didn't go far enough. And after that, there was Kenya and other, but not Liberian. And then you and Nathaniel came up with that Boston radio in a community, and then we picked it up. Boston Radio went on for a very long time, very successful as well. And then we went on to GDA, Voice of GDA, which was also successful. And then we eventually went back to Liberian Public Radio. But the point is, we have always been in a community. We have managed to entertain the community. In fact, one of the things that Voice of GDA or LPR was very known for back home was that when there is any kinds of event in the GDA community, if the people back home wants to find out what is happening, they will usually
So
tune
just to keep
into
this board here,
LPR.
Mr. Toll, now to keep this board here, we're gonna get some music a little bit rolling on the ground, on this conversation. Okay, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. So LPR has come a long way. And one of the things that not because I'm involved with LPR, but one of the things that I respect about LPR is that though we're not rich, but we always find means among ourselves to carry on most of the activities of LPR. We're not going around expecting to be paid by a certain group of people just because we want to carry their water, so to speak. So, in fact, the program we use nowadays, I've yet to see it in a Liberian community platform, and that will be able to spend that kinds of money and to be able to generate to carry that platform. I've not seen it. There are few churches in the community that carry them, that carry that particular software, but I've not seen in a talk show business or in a platform business that will be able to carry that. And what that particular software does for us is give us the opportunity to mix a lot of things up. For example, if this was the software we were using right now, I can stay right here and show stuff from my other laptop, and you will be able to see it. You can stay there, and I can command through your laptop and be able to play through the software. Many of these people cannot do that. So I think we
All right.
come a long
So
way.
yeah. This is what we're going to do here this evening. Our goal here is to celebrate, to cheer to Liberia, to the Republic of Liberia, the president, the country. We can disagree, but it is our nations, and more importantly, our followers, our supporters, people that have been hanging in there with us. And I must be very grateful in terms of this, the level of civility that is maintained on this platform, the mutual respect. Sometimes they go over the edge, but most of the time it is their own disagreement with fellow followers, tweet comments, their disagreement. Of course, that is okay. Let me welcome people here, Mrs. Agnes Samukat Moluba. Brandon was my former boss, and of course, Tanian Sylvie. When it comes to raising money, you guys throw me in the front, and I'm about to throw you under the truck here this evening. You, as the board member, part of your job is to make sure that the administration is.
Who gave me that position? Who gave me that position?
You see, when you come to board, because board can when you come to that, then you say you're not board member. But let me
I'm just a floor member. I'm just a floor member. I'm not board member.
Okay. Ms. Madame Sylvie is one of our highest donors. I have everything on record. The students in Morocco. In fact, she took the initiative. She doesn't like when you're talking. I say, yeah, look, we don't need to leave things in darkness. After making a contribution of $200, you remember when we launched our fund drive, we raised over $2,000 for the students in Morocco. It was not for all, but for the students in Morocco. Let me just see here. For the students in Morocco, and she gave that. You know what it means for people to trust you with money? And the reason most of the people that they're not giving, Liberian loves to give, but the dishonesty, the false pretense, the falsehood, it's unbelievable. So people are doubt, but even at that, some people still have the courage. And I don't care, even just of the recent the 2020 midterm, she came forward again. So Madam Sylvia, another place she pissed, but hey, I gotta say, thank you so much for all of these years, your support. And not only that, we're able to find somebody to get a contract for us to advertise, So that's another way. For those of you, we will come to this point. And let me just let the cat out of the bed right now. One of the reasons for which we don't usually put our cash app up here is not that we don't want to do it. The very number that you guys call here, it is. But I told my folks, we ourselves have to take the bull by the horn. And we are 2021. Our goal is to have an FM transmitter. And that's why we don't want to tie ourselves with politicians. We don't want to tie ourselves to opposition, because when I'm ready to talk, when I'm ready to speak, I don't want to let back. I don't want to get a glass of water because I'm about to talk about this person here. And I will start thinking, yes, time for the real fundraiser. We're acting every month here, sometimes $25, $50. Yeah, National Public Radio, NPR, right? Yeah, they do fundraiser. It's a public initiative. Let me bring the image you are talking about. You said, man, the man here not talk. You get, for the trouble. The man here not talk now. Let me start.
Why would you want to start us something on this beautiful, beautiful holiday where our brothers, Mr. Josh, is with us here? Welcome, Mr. Josh. We welcome you. Today, there's no fighting. We're going to be much, much more civil today because this is a holiday, and we're just here to appreciate our listeners and viewers. The people that follow us will want to appreciate it. So, no fighting here today. I will say this here. The fact that we have already established that we're going to do the kumbaya here tonight, and let us not take advantage of that and try to drag this liberal into your way of thinking. I will resist it without any kinds of hesitant whatsoever.
Unmute your mic. Joy, unmute your mic.
Oh, now you can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
I want to say thank you to Mr. Toole and Mr. Soul. Especially, let me say this.
Can I say something first, by George? Yeah, please, not to interrupt you. We should be the one to tell you thank you. And the reason is simple. I kind of like give you a hand here before you came on. Your volunteerism, your time that you volunteer in this network. I was checking some of those folks. Sean Hannity, one of the guy, the talk show.
Excuse me, just keep going. You can take me off there because I want to find my earpiece here, please.
Oh, easy. You're making big more. You can't. You are not there. Say, please, Mr. Soul.
Mr. Soul, please. Go ahead. Take me off so I can find my earpiece, please.
You don't come my position, yo.
The what?
You know my position?
Mr. CEO, please. Please, Mr. CEO.
CEO of what?
Eh?
CEO of what?
Okay, all right. My hand in a leopard mouth. CEO of LPR.
Okay. All right. So, Pajoy, first of all, I want to say thank you. We've been knowing one another. We haven't met personally, but I think it's a relationship. It's very much important. And we respect your views, your opinion expressed on this network, your commitment. It's all of these things. What we are doing is the commitment is what matters. It's commitment, not a single date that unless we are not on. Will always make your time available. If you look on Google's, the contributors of the various network, the CNN, MSNBC, Fox, and all of those people, they pay them. Whatever you do here, you should be paid. But instead, you are given to the very network. That's supposed to say, but I surely show you know that we have not reached that level, but not so much of that, but your commitment for us to discuss national issue. That's something we really appreciate. I just want to make sure I mention that you as a senior analyst and contributor here, and your time and the contributions you are making for the growth of this network here. But believe me, and I told our guys, we started this 12, 13 years ago, believe me or not. At the time, there was no live Facebook. We used to do a teleconference stuff. And we gradually transitioned to get us to be where we are. It's not an entertainment thing we are doing here. It's a network, it's a media institutions. And that's why we always try to keep it professional. And that's why it is plenty back home. And these guys, they are doing enormous work. But like I told something, our goal 2021 is to have before 2021, go first and long life. And with all our valuable followers and listeners, we want to have FM outlet planted in Liberia. If we can't even cover the 15 political subdivision, we want to have it in Monrovia, and we can coordinate with different stations to have it like in the form of the national public radio, for which some of us have gone ahead to do some basic trainings and talking to people to have that, so that we can have a public outlet where people will be able to speak freely. Nobody should be left behind when it comes to the disseminations of news. Thank you so much for all that you have done for us.
Yeah. Let me say this, and thank you to Mr. Tool. I was driving one day with my daughter, and the phone rang, and I saw this California number. Then I told my daughter, I said, "Hey, who called me on this California number?" They said, "Daddy, pick up the phone."
Then I told her,
Mr. Tool.
I might have number.
Don't worry about it.
I used to call on the program and give my view. So that afternoon he called. So I said, "What is the number?" My daughter said, "Pick it up." So when I pick up, and he said, "Oh, hi, Mr. Joyce." He said, I'm Mr. Tool. He said, "But I want you to come to be a contributor on my program, but we don't have money to pay you. So it's a volunteer thing. Just think of it and give me a time. These are the time you'll be available. If you can be available, let me know, then we can proceed from there." And I said, "Oh, yes." So that was it's a gratitude to him, because the thought alone he had not seen me, there had been no formal communication, just appearing on his show, calling and thing, and he decided to bring me on board. And I must be very humble and grateful to him and his family, and to the LPR family for allowing me to be part of the family. And you, as a managing director, did not hesitate, have accepted me to be part of this family. And also to the many viewers around the world. And I tell people, I'm a very social person. If you meet me in person, sometimes I'm quiet at home, but when I'm out there, I'm very active, people that know me. So, but I tell people, I know sometimes my view sometimes alienate some people, but at the same time, hey, what I say out of love, not hate. I would tell people that know me, they will tell you, hey, Emo is not the kind of person you think of him, Everything I say is all about Liberia. We want a better country. And in doing so, sometimes we say something that other people may not like, they feel a little bit, But in general, my view is always about Liberia, because I love Liberia and we all love Liberia. Probably it just, we all want something, but we have different paths or different way of getting there. So sometimes if I say something, I hope viewers should not take it very personal that I'm going against somebody personally. But I'm just bringing out of love, because if Liberia is better, it's better for every one of us. So I just want to take the time to say thank you to the management and staff, the board of this station, for allowing me to air my view. I mean, nobody tell me, oh, you don't see the one, you come in, don't see the one. No, I'm allowed freely to express my view. And I think that is very important for people to allow you to say what you want to say, And I just want to say thank you to you people. And I hope we should continue the relationship as we move forward. Thank you.
All right.
Well, thank you, Mr. Josh. The only issue that I have, looking back at it now, I should have some sort of a litmus test, because I didn't do that, and I'm a little bit regretting, because when you got on board, you decided to live with this conservatives, far right conservatives, LPR chief, and both of you trying to dominate the liberal. I didn't ask that. Now let me ask you. Now I'm going to redo that. Pa Josh, we don't want you, John. What is your view? Are you a conservative or a liberal? I think it's a question. I'm asking now. So if you are, let us know.
You see,
no, I'm very liberal. I'm liberal.
Oh, if you're liberal, then I hate to see Donald Trump being
in the Democratic Party. You don't see what they call the hardliner. They are conservative within the Democratic Party.
Okay.
They are conservative within the Democratic Party.
Okay, so like we said, we want to really give it up to all our followers here, people. By the way, if it's just the first time, we want to welcome you. This is the Liberia Public Radio, Lpr-Tv. We've been around for a long while, and I've been making this play here. Again, we have our sisters, we have smart sisters, mothers, or ladies that are very smart and open with a lot of things that we talk about. We want to have this sort of a full representation here to have ladies as an analyst, and I know, and one of the reasons because but I can guarantee, Mr. To and Pa George, when it comes to our viewers, they're very disciplined. They would just say, "Oh, you are this person, you're that," but to see some, really strong or words to be used, I don't see it happening here. So probably that could be the fear in the ladies because the manner in which most people we address people nowadays, and so we don't want to go out there in the public, but we want to assure you, your lady, Even if you have anything, it doesn't have to be politics. There are a lot of things that factor into the livings, our livings, social issues, and everything all out there. So, anything that you're comfortable with, you think you want to be part of this network here, that's okay. So, Mr. Tor, let's see here. From December to December, that's huge. What was the most thing that you learned? We're going to open our lines here very shortly. Here, we're not going to do much talking here. So our members, they can call to see what we need to improve. And please tell us what we need to improve on. If we are using some stuff here, we are not doing what we're doing here, let us know. So December to December.
Yeah.
Where you go for the Christmas here?
Before I go from December to December, let me just say this on a very serious note. I think this platform, having been one of those, I am one of those that peruse the social media most of the time. This platform, I think, the way we set ourselves up allows people to come in, express themselves freely without using language that are not of their character. And I think that's something that most platform lacks. For example, if we say time to call in, and I'm well known for that, because if you call into my show and you try to use language, words that are not suitable, according to me, I will call you up and let you know that's not the kind of language we use here. And we try to criticize, but at the same time, and most of the people that call on these intellectual platforms, they are very versed with the English language, so you know what words to use. That will be excellent. Not necessarily describing the person differently, but you have to be very careful what kinds of words. So when we set that stage, the people that call in, having that kinds of understanding, they will debate the issue, but they will respect each other. And I think this is the way we established, have been established, and this is how we go on. Now, from December to December, are you sure you want me to go there? That's fine. Let me go there. From
Okay, let me do it this way.
Don't change now. I'm getting ready to rock the boat. Why you want to change?
What did you eat yesterday? What you ate yesterday?
Oh, what do you mean? First of all, thank God that we're alive, and it's a Christmas day. Last night, I was on the air in Grand Gila County, where I was to be specific, where I spoke to our people, congratulated the senator-elect, and everything else seemed to be on course. Now, what exactly did I get out of this December to December? Let me let it out quickly. Two things, as far as I'm concerned. Can you give me the opportunity, please? We're not fighting. This is holiday. Please. You Liberian conservatives, those of you that were fighting and writing on Facebook that Trump going to win and Trump would do this and do that, this is what you have left with you. You no longer have place in this country as a conservative group. We drove you out. Let me finish, please. Let me finish. We drove you out completely. The liberals are in control. And then, not only that, that spirit was able to be transferred to Liberia, where we drove the conservative out of the power. They're no longer valuable. So the liberals are in control. The point now is, where will you go? You go to Liberia, you either join us. You stay here, you either join us. Second thing, what I learned, we flocked CDC. And I was out here dancing. And that was one of the learning process. We flocked CDC. And they don't know how to turn it. They don't know what to say. They say, oh, some kind of Israeli king and pay the voter. I don't care what they say. All I know, we flogged CDC, Moserado County. We flogged CDC in Grand Bazaar County and many other counties. Sedition were flogged. That's what I learned.
So then, why you didn't call your own county?
We got to jump over Grand Junior Country. We got to jump over Grand Junior Country.
Why?
Our defeated our flock in Grand Junior Country. So, but I don't like to talk about it much. I like to talk about my winning point. I don't want to talk about defeating issue.
Wow. Papa Joy.
Oh. Mr. Two things stood out to me this year. He said when the election and the killing of the 4 auditors in Liberia, those are the 2 things that stood out to me this year in Liberia.
Why?
Because if you let me start with the election. The amount of resources that the ruling party invested against Dallas DeLong with the hope of reclaiming that seat, as he put it. All the ministers, it was like they call it hand on deck to unseat Dallas DeLong. And with all that, that did not yield any positive result for them. And that speaks volume to me about the direction in which the country is heading. You look, when CDC, I think, was a closing thing they had on the feed at the SKD Sports Stadium. You saw the crowd that they put up. And some people had reservation that was the end of Dylan. He was not going to make it. And then Dylan came back when he had his closing campaign, a huge crowd turnout. And what stood out to me at the time was the Dylan campaign did not pay people to show up.
How you know?
Well, hey, I saw people that I saw seeing that they were paying their own way, going there. And the ruling party, you saw they used buses to transport people to the field. So those 2 things, you can see people who said they were volunteering to go to attend the Dylan rally, and the contract with CDC that had transported people to the stadium. And this is the same thing that worked Green George we had time. People used to make sacrifice, they buy their own t-shirt, print it, go to the place. So that stood out to me. And the killing of these 4 auditors, that still I cannot wrap my hand around it. In a country, in a city, where you have law enforcement people, in 1 week time, 4 persons from the same profession was allegedly just killed in the country, not even on an outskirts, remote part of the city. No, but in the city, these people were allegedly killed. And today, you cannot really see whether these people, their family will ever have justice about them. And when this killing happened on this very network, I said it. I said, those people killing will go in vain. The family will never have redress. And when I said, some people say, we just jump to conclusion. But you can look at the country and say, hey, if this kind of thing happens, the family must seek redress. So that alone, those are 2 things that really stood out to me this year in Nigeria.
Wow. Yeah, okay. Well, do you have any issue with anybody from 2020, from December to this December, that you forgive that person, the laborer?
Yes.
What make you vex?
Plenty. Plenty.
Whatever, yeah. You can't in the public, you say plenty? You want to talk all?
No, I stay there. Wow, talk about ever. I stay there.
You read the boss?
You see that? No, Mr. No, Mr. I have no malice, anything against anyone. Uh, See, the thing about it is, in order for you to be angry, from what people might believe, in order for you to be angry from what people have done to you or what have you, for me, it seems like if you do that, then you don't know who you are. But I know my position on earth. I know who I am. I know at this stage what I have done, what I'm capable of doing. I know myself. So there's nobody that would do anything and nothing except for God that would do anything that would get to me. And that's what I try to stay away from words like uh, embarrassment, words like how do you call it, emotional words that would try to describe something happening to you. No, I am not someone who would say, "Oh, I'm embarrassed," or something. And sometimes I can say, "Well, I regret," or what have you, but I do not take other people feeling about me to internalize that and say, "This is who I am." No, what that what I want. I always say, "My ain't feeling you more. You ain't feeling my more. Nothing you can do to me. You want to throw BT, we throw BT. You beat me, I'll go home. I beat you, we go home. There's nothing else." So for this reason, I really don't have any kinds of thing to say. This person have done this to me, and this person have done that to me. If I have people, perhaps who I feel that will, because every one of us, I believe, have certain uh, internal uh, mechanism that stir it up from time to time. Sometimes it stirs us from the bad way. And so if you're able to recognize things that get you to a certain point that perhaps you might not be comfortable with, people who try to stir those things up, you stay away from them because you know yourself. If you know yourself, there are certain things you can avoid without you getting, but if you don't know who you are, you get into a situation that perhaps you are not able to redeem yourself. But like me, I know who I am. There are certain people within our community that I don't care to get into political argument because I know these people, first of all, they got nothing to offer. Second, they tend to use personal issues as way of argument. And so what am I going to get from person like that? Person who is not willing to argue based on facts, except to use personal issues, personal attack, and disguise that as facts. What are you going to get out of that person? So I try to stay away from those people. And so just for me to know, what I'm doing, I know who I am. I know what I can do, and I know what I cannot do. I must not lie. I must be truthful. I must not say what I know is not true about anybody and think, say, I'm saying it because I'm trying to hurt somebody. The way I believe and the way I do things is if I say something, I don't want to get out of that situation and start regretting. That's the most terrible, terrible feeling you can have to say, why did I put myself in this? Why did I do that? Because we all have conscience. You want to do things to make sure you don't have a debate with yourself. And so, no, Mr. So, I'm not angry with nobody. I'm just fine.
Okay. Me, how are you?
You're going to go, boss.
I should go, boss.
What you vet with me for?
I should talk here? Okay. All right.
Let me hear it.
Folks, again, good evening. We want to welcome you. Tonight's conversation is just strictly, for the most part, we want to accommodate calls. And I think it is important for us to be having conversations. The sources of our country, the rebuilding of our country, believe me or not, all of us, we do have a share into it. We can't leave it with the government alone. We can't leave it with the opposition alone. We can't leave it with advocates, people in the advocacy community. We can't leave it with them. And part of that for us to understand, to know where we are coming from as a people, as a nation, first of all, I think we must be forgiving. Forgiving in the sense that some of us who did horrible things. And what? The old man paid it already is on the cross of Calvary. So why should somebody, I can't talk to this person, I can't talk to her, I can't talk to him. So if you can't talk to the person, what does that suggest? Is there a help, or is just hurting the system? So I just honestly believe that we should learn to forget as we move. If we are to change, that's my opinion. I could be wrong. If we are to change as a country, as a nation, then we must be able to accommodate some high core painful conversations that we would disagree with and agree with. But I'm worried something too about our country. But one of the things that really caught my attention was this ended midterm. I know, Pat George. We talk to people on a daily basis, family members, friends, and people were the neverness in the country. You could see how things were going to go out of hand. Fighting who have been fighting. People were projecting that there were going to be a fight. The election was going to be a violence, and there was reasons, so many reasons people have to believe that there was a potential violence hanging over the country. Like Pat George said, the death of those people that was a pattern from time to time within a short time of interval. It is just the disappearance of those other cases and all of that. So people just felt like, you know what, if it doesn't go this way here, but I think Liberians and we must give it to the government. In as much they are elephant in the room, we must give it to the government in that uh, they were able to see lines of reasonings. They were able to see that the citizens that they govern, I spoke from the inner parts of their heart. And part of that is the strong refuse that the government or the government that was elected a couple of years ago perhaps it's not delivering, because to see a sweeping win for the opposition, it suggests something is not going well. And I tell you, it's not easy to embrace this sort of defeat. So, and there was no counter resistance on the part to say, okay, this is what we're supposed to get there, and we did not get this, so we're going to put a fight. That did not happen. So I think we must give it to the government. We must give it to the people of Liberia for being able to exercise that sort of high sense of responsibility, physical discipline, political tolerance. And we all here were chewing the bones of our NEC. Call this county. Why are you not calling this? Why are you not doing this? But we know all of the challenges that are facing the country. So to get us to be where we are, I think it is important that we also mention that aspect here. So folks, we have the number there, 682-433-8802. What is more touching from December to December? And if you just
Mr. So, let me stress a point here very quickly while we're waiting for a call. What you just stated is so poignant. It's unbelievable. What happened this going election? I think it's historians will look back on this as being one of the deciding factor in Liberian going forward. Even though we continue to say this government have done so many things that we don't like, but let's just look at Ivory Coast. Let's look at Guinea. So how far, if Liberian and their government and these people, CDC, to say we're going to reject this result, this is not the kind of result we're having had these people follow the stadium and look what we're getting. And so we're not going to accept it. That would have been a terrible thing to do. The fact that sedition accepted the result, I was just making fun of it, of flocking them, but the fact that they accepted the result, for me, that makes CDC much more stronger as individual sedition and as an entity to step, because Africa politics It's nothing small to sit there and publicly say, I accept the result. The president came and lay out the groundwork, and everybody else start following that they accept the result. I think this particular incident here will go down in history as one of the deciding factors in determining the true future in terms of democracy in Liberia. Because the young generation will look back on this and say, this is what got us here. And I want to take my hat off as well to CDC and its leadership for allowing democracy to flourish in Liberia. This is a wonderful thing, and we really do appreciate that. Even though we come out here night after night criticizing and what have you, but we must be truthful. If something is right, let's say it. And I think this is one of those that I really appreciate.
Let me just,
while
waiting for our callers, let me just say this. You know, I was one of those. I said I had reservation about the voters in Liberia because the past pattern. And this time they proved me wrong. But I want to commend everybody that participated in this election. The government did her part, and the opposition did her part. But we have to give credence also to the advancement of technologies in Liberia. Because if there was no camera at the polling places where tabulation are done, people taking pictures and putting it on there as it coming out, what would have happened? So technology is helping democracy also in Liberia to flourish, because nowadays, everywhere you turn, you make a move, somebody got a smartphone, get a picture right away.
Yeah, but Giorgio, that part is indisputable. Of course, technology. But what's about Cote d'Ivoire? What's about Ghana? And let me bring the comment here. No, Propo can say no credit for the government, but they could not close the huge gap. Okay, Mr. King, that's true. But let's also bear in mind the government, they have everything to their advantage. If you follow the trend of Liberia elections in the past, and not just only Liberia, but African countries, the elections, how the ruling establishment, the party in charge, how they manipulate, regardless about that. I never saw anywhere elections result is so easily overturned when they say, okay, you don't win. Even though we saw 1985. Samuel Doe and Jackson Fiado. We know what the result was. All right. But the concept of then to be able to accept that, to say, okay, this is where we are. I think that also decreases the sort of potential violence. Everybody were projecting that, okay, there were being some sort of violence over the city. For the most part, this is what I'm saying. And both parties, the government, the opposition, they were tolerant. We front on the election process of being slow but people don't understand all of these things that go through processes because you want to make sure you call what is right. And we all know rules and places are not accessible, which of course is no excuse. Devil coming from somewhere, seizing ballet, all of those kind of things. I mean, crazy. So but let me just take this first call here, and then we can. Okay, Carter, good evening. Happy belated Christmas and happy holiday. Are you there?
Yeah, happy holiday. I'm just saying, are you in the family?
All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank God for the stream.
Mr. So the person is not audible in my ears.
You try to speak a little bit louder into the phone or something.
Oh, that your side is defeated. Let me know that your side is defeated. Man. Oh, really?
It's okay.
Better days ahead. Go ahead. I just pulling your legs.
Always a way, but the part to accept is where Liberians need to realize. And this is what the person have been pushing for peace and stuff like that. And that's why they are work as a people as well. For we should maintain this peace. It could be other people, people that charge, today. I don't care. I mean, it's not right. You can't do anything to the man if they want to have the legal birth in the country. He's the one that wants a legal birth and anything to impress that. So, the take of man to decide, oh, my people rather have a peace of mind, whoever lose. You see our senators went apart and call on the winners and congratulate them. Something, we have not been seeing in Liberia. And this is the change we want, But what we are saying, that was now is the senator. What we've been saying they want is, it's not you being senator for CPT. That has been my own puppet and the two right there, government for the same area, then you get enough and anyway people do stuff. But yeah, the government now needs to put his mind to most of our country. He has to be love again. We want development. That's the thing. If you're opposition, we don't hate you. So I mean, propose a bill that will encourage development. Propose a bill. It's not fighting, talking stone, talking right. It's not why you're going there for. You're going there to make friendship with people.
So, gay. Gay.
Hello?
Yeah. Are you there?
Yeah.
So what not advise your side, the losing side, to see what they can do next time to get a win? The man already win it. Do you think he really need that much from you?
I think what happened to CDC is, I would say, I don't really think CDC is this is the thing. They like by judge that the three people that died, the auditor that died, and there are a couple of things that affect us as a division, and that is also a value, like you said, the value. But Judge Weir is now stepping up to catch up with this thing when the opposition put this thing out, because it's also like these people also close to you. They also close to the government. So people are asking themselves, what happened? So you have to make sure, and when carry on some investigation and let the information flow out to the people, what really happened to these people? Or if you keep quiet, they will say it's the government that does that, and it can back to turning against the government. And, so some of these things I look at what happened. They mentioned the opposition put it out. It could be the government that killed the auditor or not. We don't know. The evidence has not come out yet. But as a leader, they didn't want to take the responsibility. So maybe that way they fought gold and all these rumors about economy high and stuff and things. I think it's a couple of drama in the opposition, and that's what I'm saying. It's not about
so. All right. We all try to figure out here. Lastly, here, what you think was the fault, or do you think what you think your government should have done? What do you know? You as an individual, in as much you love the party, you love the leadership. What you think was? Can you count one or two missteps you think from December to December? Two things that caught your attention. Two things that caught your attention. That
if I would tell you this government that we have right now, if I would tell you they have really not doing anything, I would be very ungrateful to this government. I will not lie. This government is actually trying. Let's say the information part of security, I would say. The security part, maybe that I would say from them.
So listen, you have my question here. I know they are trying. I just want to know if there's nothing wrong. Just say it. But I'm asking you out of honest faction.
The security part will not be the issue, because the security part is where the government function. I think that must be the issue. The security part is like when everything people die, there must be an information, especially when people die. This is the same happens during any time when Harry died. And up to now, we never had information what happened, what's going on, why did Harry got to die. He had never had a justice. So it's not something strange, but then it's just basically on George Panel, we are in Africa. lot of politicians come up doing the job we are regime. So they have that, I know, too much politician now than before. So
okay.
I want to know what is the issue about these people being dying and something, and there's no investigation.
So
then the government has to be responsible for that.
okay, so those are the two things that you I mean security and what?
I think that security wise, and maybe they will say the economy, like the economy is high, food and stuff and things. I think that's what the government needs to arrange that area. But security wise and food, that's what I'm saying. Because that's what the opposition is actually using against the government to say, hey, no food, no shorting of food, they feed, like certain times you say fuel or go up high, all this stuff and things. It's breaking down, it's coming down to them believing that this government.
So are you? So the opposition, they were lying, or what? Or is that true? Do you think?
No, some of these things came out to be actually true, but another government are coming to power. All these things can happen, especially with Joshua being somebody who I would say not a traditional politician. So if this love is country want to, it's not accepting the fact that hey, it's gonna work. So they'll play any kind of politics, any kind of dirty work on the ground. What we don't do it how or something.
Okay. Okay. Personally, before I go to the next person, is there anybody you think that you hold anything personal against anybody? Have you decided the coming Christmas, New Year to forgive the person? If that's the case.
So I'm not holding anything against anybody. I'm asking every Liberian, every opposition and opposition, it used to be an opponent. I love to be an opponent. If you oppose these things, sometimes that's what it is. You got negative something. You oppose like it's not good. Things like it's not good for the citizen. We can accept that. We understand because for us, we were a process of 14 days of civil crisis, and we asking everybody to come together and unite. I don't have no manager anybody, but we have to, watch out when it comes to the politics and stuff and things about Liberia because we have to be back a better match that they think about come on whoever next week we say, oh yeah, the Liberians want to live this is what we live in now, community and all that stuff and things. So
okay. All right. Thank you so much. All right. Okay, let me go to this number here, 980 number 6339. Call up, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Joseph. I'm calling you from Pennsylvania, Philadelphia.
Okay, Brother Joe, happy belated Christmas, and I will wish you a happy time.
Mr. So, can you hear me?
Thank you for
Mr. So.
your time and I support our network by tuning in, calling in, all of that. So really appreciate that. Okay, so go ahead.
Thank you very much. And I want to say happy holidays to all of you guys in the studio, and thank you so much for all that you do for Liberia from January to December. We appreciate it so much. It's all in the interest of making Liberia a better place for all of us. But quickly to your discussion, I just want to make one simple point. And this simple point, I keep preaching it around for the past couple of weeks now. I think as a government and people, what I noticed between December to December that we haven't done much is reconciliation. We can build, I said it before on Mr. Toll Show, we can build all the roads, we can do all the stimulus package distribution and the rest of it. But if we are not reconciled as a country and the people, we will be going nowhere. Elections is over. The president needs to muster the courage to call and congratulate Senator Belong. I think it would be in the interest of the people of Montserrat and the people here, the people of Liberia. I think the president needs to also muster the courage to work with his vice president, who is the mother of the country and the second person in command, because leadership comes from the top. If we see that the VP and the president is not happy. We are not on good terms. Definitely, we as quote unquote opposition, ruling position, and opposition, we definitely not see each other as one. So I think the president should lead the fight beginning January 1st, lead the fight to reconcile the country. That has been his
So
work.
reconciliation. I always that's something that always rings bell in my ears. What sort of reconciliation if you were if you were asked what sort of reconciliation you want to propose?
The reconciliation I want to propose would be uh, to see one another as one people. No matter what side of divide we are, we should see one another as one people, whether political, whether social, whether economic. We should see one another as one people. I believe with all the hurtings from the civil conflict from 19 going far back as 1980 to current is the reason why we are not developing is because we have not reconciled our mind and reconciled with one another. I keep saying it. It is
Okay.
the reason why we are lacking in development because we see everything as being negative about the country and about individual and about organizations. We condemn and criticize just everything. We don't see good as a people. And it's only because we have not reconciled. We still see each other as, like quote unquote Congo and native. Like we see each other as educated and uneducated.
Okay.
We see
So
each other
lastly,
as somebody who fought war and killed and somebody who quote unquote didn't fight.
okay.
We
Lastly, before I go to the next person, do you have anybody you yourself as a human being, as a personality that you need to reconcile with? And have you reconciled?
yeah, I've reconciled with every as a matter of fact, people who have hurt me. I try my best not to, keep it in my mind against them. I'm a very outspoken person. As you can see right now, I speak my mind. I see things.
So what's about
Speak
people you
out
hurt? Did
to
you hurt anybody?
if I hurt anybody, I've gone back to them to say I'm sorry many times, couple of times. I
Okay.
hope that they can see it as in good faith that I've come to reconcile with them and that I'm ready to work with them in any form, manner, and fashion.
All
So,
right.
New Liberia year 2021, let's go for reconciliation and our country can do better.
All
Have a
right.
blessed night and thank you guys.
Thank you so much. Okay. After this number, I will go to my guys here. I 212 number 2083. Caller, good evening. What's your name and where you calling from? Happy holiday.
Yeah, so you live in this. So this is Amadou that I've been playing. I'm calling from New York, New York.
New York, New York. Let me see where you were here, Amando. You started trouble the evening here, some kind of way. You tried to join a liberal Alfonso Zienso dress like Zoe and what town chief. Okay. As a matter of fact, my father was a paramount chief, so who knows? Maybe kind of like his mind kicking to me. Okay, Amado, go ahead.
Yeah, so I just want to say thank you and for your show. I always watch it and I sometimes take part. And I want to say thanks to all Liberians too, both diaspora and back home. And I think the best we can do for our country is to, unite and try to strategize and do positive things to move our country forward. My problem I've been having there is that I think the hate is not really destroying us because hate and destructive, you know, jealousy. Because for one part, in our society, uh, we don't really follow rules. Certain group of people we denigrate them and kill certain people. For example, people denigrated this president that he was not educated and blah, blah, blah. You are not fit for position. And the same people who didn't grade him raised other people's hands up that the president is even educated and qualified more than. So right there, I see it as a distraction, injustice. And then we have this tendency of hearing people who killed us or who harm us, electing people that have been convicted or accused of raping us apart, stealing. I mean, just put it that way, and we gave them a position. So when these things happening, it means that we are not to ourselves. We are confused, strong, with jealousy, and I don't know where we're moving. And we got to desist from this. We need to set a bar, a standard. Every country has this. You cannot just say because this man he has an age limit, so he qualifies to be this way. No. There should be a bar set of systems that Mr. Yabaro or Mr. Johnson at least to be a high school graduate before he occupies this position. And when Mr. X is dirty, have been accused before and found guilty, he should not, participate in X, Y, and Z. If we set up these principles, these guidelines, I think it will help us move forward because all great nations of the world we know today have similar guidelines. For example, even here in America, before you even join any of the military apparatus, you have to have GED or high school document. Like I was just gone under election. There was a lady there I used to buy cocoa from her, even before coming to America. She had the largest cocoa shop in Douala there. And I learned that she now was elected the senator of Badu County. Some people even got mad and said devil came up and went and, ran after people tried to, the devil came in the town, tried to, disrupt the whole thing. My thing is if you know the person is not qualified, she's not high school graduate, she was selling cocoa, why should the election officials or how you call it, Supreme Court or what of you even allow them to contest? So where are we? We have ourselves, to qualify.
So, okay, quickly here before I go to the guys, what you as an individual, what do you think you can do? What do you need to work on yourself to? Do you think in the past you have done anything to help the process that you move into 2021 that you need to change to help it work?
Well, I tried my best in my own way. I started from my own family, let's say family setting, relative setting, because I always tell my people that I cannot help you always, but I can help you, maybe show you the way to help you teach for profit to eat for yourself. For example, when people call, I usually try my weak way. When people ask me, or what little thing I get, sometimes I distribute it on them. I tell them, look, yes, you should use it to help yourself this way and don't keep your friend. For example, if I send one bag already, I say 2 persons to that one bag. Don't share it on 3 persons. If you share on 3 persons, I call it up to show you that is a deterrent. I won't even give you second chance.
No warning? You don't warn people? No?
That's what I say. Before I do, I warn you.
Okay.
And if you fall short, I don't give you second chance no more because this second chance thing, our own second chance can sometimes run to 100 chance. I think we should be drastic now.
So, yeah, I do the man.
We are not being drastic. 1847. We got to be drastic. America, if you make mistake, one mistake you made, they're not giving you second chance. You know about it. Once if you put your dial number for social in your system, nobody's going to move from there until you die. You see, so we got to set such principles.
So, but have you been, Amadou, have you been a beneficiary of a second chance? Lastly, before I let you go, have you been a beneficiary of a second chance?
Well, I'm not ready find myself in a situation where I should be given first chance, second chance. I'm always walking on chalk line. That's why I'm always.
Oh, man. You never sleep? You want to tell me you never made a mistake? I mean.
No, it's always a lot. But our situation like bread, not mistake. The person will, for example, will know that this thing is not for them, they will eat it. No justification for the resources of the country, not distributed evenly. You giving just two group of people $15,000 a month, and the market dying every day. What justification do they have for that?
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Well, we just want to get people. We want to get people view so that they will know. Thank you so much. Let me go to these other people here quickly. Thank you, Amadou. Okay, caller, when you come in, somebody there, just hold on until we can bring you in. All right, 973 number 6707. Happy holiday. So what's your name and where you calling from?
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yes. How you doing?
Good.
Hello?
Yeah, 973?
Yes.
Okay.
My name is Tia. I wanted to kind of like list the topic. What is it about?
Hmm. Oh, you said what the topic is about?
Yeah, I kind of like that. And then I was in the middle.
Oh, okay. Well, we believe we have come a long way from December to December, where we ourselves fell short. What you need to do? Do you need to forgive anybody? And what was the most interesting thing that you really caught your attention, be it in the politics or what is happening in your country, your surroundings, and even yourself? You heard anybody from December to December that you think you have forgave or you want to forgive? All of that?
In America or back home?
Anyway, anybody who Philippine right now crying on yours, for example.
I would say yes and I would say no.
Okay.
Because apart from sure, when you say forgive, there's so much, forgive that comes with. You understand? I'm one person. I believe forgiveness is not for the person who did you wrong. It's for you.
Right.
You understand? It's for you mentally, physically, and emotionally. So if you can put that something about yourself, then you will learn how to move on. And in America, we have things that happen here and there. Even family. No family is perfect, put it like that. Everybody who's like, oh, my family not like this, and I trust me. Every family, God is good. But at the end of the day, when you talk about it, you're only doing because you're doing so much of the person. You know what I'm saying? Now, in Liberia, if I say forgiveness, I forgive people every day in Liberia. Because in Liberia, when you're friends with people, basically you become sort of survivor for them. And there's so many times people are disappointed in that country in terms of business, other things. You know what I'm saying? So what I decided to do from past year is ongoing, not to do business with no family member, not to get in business with no friends. If I'm going to help you, I'm going to do an strictly happy business, and that's it. And my expectation for you, I'm sorry to say no disrespect, my expectation will not be so hard about you. Because if I say, okay, I'm opening a business and I trust this brother or sister of mine or friend of mine to run it, to get back to me, even if the trust, you got to give me everything. That way I can send things back to turn it around. And then you got to give me every year you're burning me up. There's no way I can do that no more to let you continue to play me. Now, I won't be your enemy, but I will forgive you on that. But I can be there for you when you need in terms of food or that stuff if I can afford it. I ask God to give me the strength. But to that, to do business with you, forgiveness, so you know what I mean? Let them do the same thing. No, I can't do that. Like, you fool me one, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. I don't keep giving, even the Bible says it, when your left hand gave you problem, you cut it off. And then I know you keep turning the cheek. How many cheeks do you have? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So we can only, be able to find us. There's no way 100% you will say somebody will not do nothing to you. And
wow.
Be able not to cut them the person, not to say, yesterday we're having the same conversation. And the same forgiveness, and we're talking about what country. I know a lot of my friends and family who went home one who are selling Bailout for, nobody can do. They don't want to come to woman. They don't want to come to woman's son or daughter. That's not true. I'm in America. If I say, there's my education, whatever I take for her, and say, oh, who she think she is, she comes up. We need to start with our people. And for the country to heal, we need to start for what's happening in our country and be realistic. That's it. We cannot continue to damage it and say, oh, we want families. We're not loving people like that. I'm sorry to say. I haven't seen a Christian like that. We can start a people. I'm sorry that I have seen.
Okay.
No Christian who not Christian.
I know. Okay. So
people, I haven't seen it yet.
Okay. Quickly here. Quickly into the second. What are your expectations for 2021? What you want to see happening in your life?
I will hope all the people that were elected and all the officials, John, we actually put his pride aside, come to the table, let them work together. Because whatever they achieve, that his administration will look good, no matter what. They will say, oh, John, we was the president. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We got to put the pettiness aside. Our people are suffering. You understand?
Okay.
Mother, my expectation, but they are going on forward. Let them be able to take paycheck home to their family and be able to provide for their family. Not get out. That's it.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you so much for your time, and stay safe during this deadly virus time. Do everything possible to keep yourself safe as well. All right. Okay, that's quite interesting. 414 number. Thank you for being patient. 7856. Good evening. Happy holiday.
We see the same. How everybody doing in the studio there?
Well, they're doing good. So far, the Libra is okay.
Okay, yeah. So far, I listened to the show. I just want to acknowledge all Liberians this coming year. We are too reliant on government. I want Liberians to start putting in effort for their country. You know, Liberians, from my village where I'm from my town, there's nobody farming there anymore. Everybody in Monrovia.
Where? You want to share that with us? Where?
I'm from Riverside.
What are they doing in Monrovia?
Nope. Huh?
What are they doing in Monrovia?
I have no idea. They all left the town. Can you imagine? We were about to build a house. Yeah, all the houses in the town are breaking down. We were about to build a house there. We have to take bag of rice to carry in my town. It was disappointing when my uncle called me here because we got a family reunion and he called me, we got to go send food. I'm like, what? When I was growing up, when I was little, there were abundance of food over there. And people say government. No, my people that live in the village, some of them never saw Monrovia. There was always food. Whenever people were graduating, we go there for chicken, we go there for food. Can you imagine those people never working government? They never, even the colors that they used, it was blacksmith. Some of them couldn't even, had no means of coming to Monrovia. But they kept the town up. They kept food. There were food always there. But now my people not doing anything anymore. I don't know where this is coming from. I don't get it. So Liberian, we need to stop this over-reliance too much on government. Simple farming. It's called sustainable farming. That's the one you just eat. It's not even commercial. Now they want to sell. Just for you to feed yourself. All the young boys from the town, they got towel around their neck. They go to the other town that got a car road going through it. That's where they all are waiting for stuff from from the city. So this is getting very, very disappointing. So Liberian, people need to. That's why you see all the politicians all giving people rights. You can't blame the people because if you're making farm, if you got your food, nobody coming buy you with food. Or everybody, the whole town is overcrowded. So we need to do something. I know the government should play their role. That's why I'm not very optimistic about this whole election thing. Because everybody they choose, they look like they just took old goods and repackaged them in new containers. Those same people and they're there for 9 years. Yeah, 9 years.
9 years, man. The years alone. What?
Yeah. When I think about my daughter by 9 years, she will be over 18. You
So that's why I don't understand why all of these people here will be going back to my guys here too. Why they never even start to have this sort of conversation a long time. No, folks, this 9 year is it's just too much. It's too over the top. For one group of people to remain in power 9 years, and even at the end of the 9 years, there's a possibility of them to recontest, and they could win. You know, there are a lot of things here. So, okay, before I let you go, what's about yourself? What you need to work on 2021? So, did you hear anybody to who?
Well, not really, but I try to help my town because I bought some planting here. I bought 500 planting hairs from Ivory Coast. I already ordered for it, so we're trying to have a massive plantation in my town to be able to help to boost the hunger rate and to help people.
Okay, that's good.
That's what I'm trying to do because I don't want to rely on government. The only problem is to get rolled into my town, which we are working on right now. But the people in Liberia, we need to continue to pray for each other. That's my resolution for the new year. Pray for each other. We need to have that unity, and we need to put away division, tribalism, sectionalism, all those things. We need to come together as one. So just thank you for having me.
Yeah, all right. Talking about your project, I think that's a very good thing. It's encouraging, it's motivating. If you read it, and start, let us know. We have folks on our side. If you want us to give it some light, I mean, that way other people can see it, and it could be a motivating. It could be a turning point for other people to follow suit. So anything, just let us know what we can do in terms to get it out there. Let us know.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get a correspondent right into Riverside and Grand Bassa there, so any of them can make way depending the location. We can work it out.
Oh yeah, okay. I would appreciate that. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I will stay in touch.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. Okay, gentlemen.
Yep.
I think
any of the people very much, and I was trying to call your attention, but apparently you were not hearing me either.
You see, Joe, you didn't hear anybody?
I heard everybody.
This total man here, this guy, he's a trouble child. Why would Joy hear people and you can't hear people? Something too.
Because you always kick me off the air.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But Joy, it seems so. Can we be hopeful that come 2021, all of us will be a little bit tolerant when it comes to our country, the kind of discussion we have, how we address one another? Is that something we're going to see unfold in 2021? Everybody seems to have a kind of soft tone here. That doesn't represent anybody, but there's some sort of eagerness within that is embedded within that, all doing yeah, you can't solve the problem. So we have to figure a way, sit at a table and listen to one another.
Yes, but I'm still doubtful.
Wow.
And what do I mean by this? Is the leadership, those who are leaders, they normally set the tone. If the leadership cannot set the tone, the followers will not listen. Somebody mentioned Christmas City.
Christmas City, yeah.
I saw this morning, he and this guy were together, Mike Jabade. Someone posted something, then he said, "Oh, I will not block that person, but the person is worsening." That's a Congo man.
Who said? Is that what?
City. He said that's why they don't want to hear people name like all Yakba Tobacco, these kind of, they don't want to hear us because they feel that we are not a tip. And these are surrogates of the CDC. And this young guy, particularly, he always pushes this Congo country line. And there's nobody to call him to say no. And the question I always ask people, Who is the common person today in Liberia? Who is a country person today that you can look at? Anybody, when they get some form of Western education, we live in a world, they say you combo. So, where is this line coming from with these people? Us was it then? Where it coming from? These are the things that some of us see and say, hey, where are these people coming from with this thing here? I thought we had passed this thing here. I heard one of your callers talking about someone who is not qualified to elect the person. The election commission has a guideline. The Constitution set the rules how to govern and who to run. There are requirements within the Constitution for the presidency, the vice for the presidency, and any other person who wants to run for a position in Liberia. The Constitution did not set an educational limit for electoral office. But as a matter of fact, for someone to be elected, people expect the person to obtain some level of education. If the electorate in that area decides to vote for that person, I can say no. And the election commission doesn't have the right to disqualify a person based on the level of the education. There are requirements set forth by the Constitution and the election guidelines. So we have to be very careful how we talk. You said this one more saying Fuano Kobo Dan Douala. But she's going back to her people, and the people say, hey, this is the person who won. So who am I to say no? I'm not from that area. And if I'm from that area, I can only register my displeasure in the vote. So we should start trying to antagonize other people. And yet, he spoke about people stealing in government and they going free. Now, this is the thing someone that get to me, then the people say, I don't like the present government people. But you can't say the kind of thing in this time and just you want to get away with it. No. Let's go back. When the election was coming, everybody said that if George Weah win, they're expecting to audit the previous government. The sedition, everybody was singing this song. He won the election. He didn't do it. So who do you blame? In his campaign, he told them, I will protect the former president now and her children and her family. He told them. So today, if this people are not being audited, so why you people are making noise? But people squandered the money 12 years and nothing is being done to them. But your very leader today told you that he will not harm these people. And you gave him state power. So why do you want to blame these people in the past? And this is why sometimes people have problems. They say, oh, I don't like them. But these are hardcore truth. We must speak up if we are to move forward. Master, I'm an ex-government official.
All right. Let me bring in the Liberal. Got 10 here. Hopefully, we should be wrapping. Oh, yeah. The Liberal.
Yes, I'm here.
Are you hearing me now?
Mr. So, I'm here.
Oh, where this guy? Come on. Are you hearing me now?
Mr. So, yes, I can hear you.
Wow. Look, 2021 would that be easy between two of us? Is that how we're going to start it?
No, the new year ain't started yet. We're still in all year. When the new year
is that how we're gonna roll over in the new year?
No, we're gonna leave all the one behind, and the new year will be a little bit better.
All right. Okay, so I don't know. There's still uncertainty here. 2021. Are we going to see a different dynamics, a different conversation? Sam Center will be different, Alfonso will be different, Pa George will be different. Because I think even to our own mindset, we must also be able to renew our thoughts and the way of doing things. Then we go out there to even hold the leaders too. But we all have to create what is happening in today's world. So are we going to see something new, or are you just going to get ugly before it gets better?
Thank you, Mr. So, for having me on your show again. I really appreciate it. This is what I'm going to say on that, and it's a very interesting question because I believe that all of these rigmarole that is happening, it's brought on by ourselves. Liberian, these are not foreign invention. These are not foreigners that invaded a country, that perhaps brought in foreign ideas or what have you. Liberians have always been at each other, except if we have not gone this vitriol against each other like this before. Now, Mr. So, I would hope, I would hope that we as Liberians will see reason to accept each other's view, not accept, but to allow each other to express their view freely. And you also have the right to reject, but you must do so with respect. First of all, we have to respect each other. There's nothing better than to have a civil discussion based on mutual respect. If you don't have that, then the civility of any conversation goes through the window because you don't have respect for the other person. And therefore, you don't want to even address that person as a respectable person. So then that makes the conversation, that makes the discussion, the engagement very much impossible. Because once you do that, you try to inject some sort of a language to belittle, some sort of a language that will try to distinguish that person from your society or your group, then what is the point? Now, this is what is real bad for all of us. As you know, Liberia has always followed American policy and politics and what have you. Here in America, what do these politicians would do to a country that they're getting ready to dethrone the leadership? First of all, they degrade that person, make that country or the person dehumanize that person. So by the time they're ready to attack that person, the person in the eyes of the American that perhaps will be able to stand and reject that kind of behavior, that person will no longer be like a human being. So that person, it doesn't matter what the government does to that person does not deserve to be among us. That kinds of behavior is gradually trickling down to Liberia. And it's going to be bad for us. Because if we continue to degrade, insult, don't have no respect for anybody that is part of the conversation, then we're not going to be successful. We have to disagree. There's no question asked because there's so many things that is happening in the country that we don't agree with. However, our disagreement does not mean that we are at war with each other. Our disagreement must be done civilly. In other words, you're going to have to approach the conversation, not so much of me coming with a bad intention to say, I'm not here for the truth, but I'm here to degrade, dehumanize this person. Therefore, in the eyes of the Liberian, this person will not be able to represent us. If you do that, you defeat everybody. Because whatever you believe, your idea might not be the suitable idea for that particular time. Your idea might be suitable for next time. But you cannot enforce or force your idea on people and demand that people accept what you're saying. That, for me, Mr. So, is a recipe for disaster. And I hope our brothers and sisters will learn in 2021 how to engage, how to respect each other.
It's the learning process.
Respect each other. That kinds of behavior translate to the voters. We don't respect the voters, and therefore we carry back a rice. We don't respect the voters, and therefore we carry sardine and everything else, thinking they should give us their vote based on their stomach and not based on what is intellectually capable. Because if you're going to give them the rights and they accept the right, why would you want now to try to go there and establish some sort of a platform where you'll be able to explicitly Say to the people what you want to do, what is your capability, how do you intend to do, to explain yourself to the voters. You don't want to do that because of your disrespect to the electorate. You decide to go and do money and rice and everything else. Those kinds of behavior we're going to have to stop. Other than that, the 2023 election is going to be a very tough one. So once again, I just say those of us that have these kinds of platforms should try to set an example, set the stage. If the president and the leadership of Liberia are unable to set the stage that will bring civility in our civil discussion, then we are in trouble, Mr. So.
Per George.
Speaking about
before you come in, talking about that, I think for us in the media world, but I mean there are different types of people in this business. You have those that are there for entertainment. You have those that are there who are propagandists. You have those who are there doing the public relations aspect. You will have those who are there doing the data work, which of course for in a propaganda group. And though you have those who are there, in the real world, the news are presenting it as it is, and I be able to incorporate other views and have a discussion. The purpose of that is to find a common ground. Now, these diversities of group of people, I bear in mind, not even the government, not even the opposition, have some sort of authority over them. So the issue of preaching peace and setting the tone for the betterment of our country is in the hands of these people. You not control them. I'm not controlling them. Nobody is paying their cell phone bill. Nobody is paying their iPad or whatever devices that they are using to broadcast or to have a talking point. But they do have political interest. They do have an interest, and that's the agenda that they are preaching in favor of someone directly or indirectly. And people listen to those people. There are so many where people are so much enticed based on what people say. You in this country, you go to Fox News, you're in different world. You go to Newsmax, you're in different world. When you turn to CNN, you listen to different thing. When you go to ABC, you listen to different thing. And that's part of the beauty of today's society. How can we, considering all of these critical factors, go into a consequential elections for the betterment of our country? Nobody, not the government, not the opposition, they don't stand up to those people that are doing this thing that they are doing. Some of the false news, conspiracy theory that they are preaching is both sides. It's not just government, the opposition. Opposition, but they give recognition to some people to what they are doing and whatever the case. Now, my guess, some of these things will turn right back on them. It's like somebody raising that alligator unknown to themselves. How can we contain that?
It is it's question, and that's why I said from the initial stage, it's the leader having the political will, because we all know when people are speaking, you get to know where they're going and which way they're leaning. And so if someone is speaking in the camp of the opposition, it is incumbent upon the leaders in those institutions to tell them, hey, I understand I do not pay your bill. You're doing this because you love Liberia. But if you want to affiliate with us, then you have to tone down your language. But the leader don't have the willpower to do that. If like what I say, you want to say a certain thing and you can't say it, and you find someone out there who is saying it. And so you don't want to call that person up because that's why you want them to say it. Because you can say it. But if you make business, then you should either call the person or disassociate yourself with them and say, hey, if you continue to do that, then of course, I don't think you should be promulgating our message or talking on behalf of us. That's why I say the leadership, they have a major role to play in this thing, because everybody that speak in favor of the opposition, there is a link to that person by a certain group of people. They're not just talking because they feel they're talking. They talk because they know somebody from that camp. It's the same thing with the government.
Or
People,
they have interest.
yes, that's the
On the
interest.
also, we consider them some kind of lobbyists in the media industry. They're talking. I'm talking, and they tell me they will say, and I'm speaking for Cummins. I'm not speaking for Boyka. I'm not speaking for Ure. I'm not speaking for. I'm speaking for myself.
No, you can't speak for yourself because you're speaking in the opposition black. There's one of those people that you support, so you're speaking in that black. And get that point that people come here to say, look, I'm here to express my view. Yes, but how are you expressing the view? Whom this view is supporting? Whom the view is against? Okay? All these people that got the platform, they have a connection. Either be opposition or government, they have some channel that they communicate with certain people. They are advocating. Because if it's not so, take for example, if you say something, and Mr. Kwame came and said, no, I disagree with what you said. I know that it is your view, but I disagree with you. I don't think we in the opposition will want to go down that route. You will see that clear. But if Mr. Kwame is not saying it, and if people continue, I'm just using comment. If he's not saying it, people continue to do it, then of course you will see. People will say the opposition, these are people who speak on their behalf indirectly. The same thing go for government. You got certain people who have come up, for instance, like Pressure Reef, the Class D, or Judy Rambo. These roles, these are people who tell you they have direct connection with the government. So it means that these people are players within the government. And if the leadership of the ruling party cannot call them up for something the same, then it tells you they are sanctioning or endorsing those people. So it's difficult for you to say, how can we tune this rhetoric down? When I say the leadership of all sides not willing to speak out to the surrogates or propagandists or whatever you call it, they are not willing, then there's a serious problem. But I just want to mention what Mr. Toho was saying about this rest issue. You know, Mr. Toho, I continue to wonder what has happened to our people. Today, Mike Jabate said he was on his way to Bon County that somewhere to have about 2,000 bags of rice with some other assorted food to go distribute to certain towns in Bon County. Is that the food? Is that going to improve the life of the people? Why they cannot put a system, a policy in place to try to empower these people? It's the same thing Mr. Toho just said. Today, the young man said, 12 about 2,000 bags of rice with others to carry. What is that? If that money cannot be put in a clinic or school, they say rice. What is the motive at this time? These are the issues that Mr. Toho was speaking about, like insulting the people.
So are you saying where's the motive of giving the rice, by George?
At this time, 2,000 bags of rice to this town. Yeah, that was like his own video. He was seeing it this morning, that he was on the web.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I've not had the privilege to listen to him for to verify. Yeah, but I heard you asking. You said, what is the motive of that?
Yes, is that something? I don't know, because it made me to wonder, why are you doing this at this time? At this time, is it empowering the people, or just making them to feel somehow dependent on you, or what? Because that money, you could take that money to buy comic books, I think, to give it to the children.
So then, when we ask that question, why is he doing it at this time?
I'm just wondering, what is the motive? What is the intent? What is the motive?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm asking now too. If that was capable, will we still ask that question?
Oh no, I may not be asking. I may ask that question, but I will not stress in this form, because I would say that is to help. That is to help parents to send their children to school, because right now, you know, the economy of the country, there's hardly no money. There's hardly no money
going to eat. So, the Liberal, if you want to talk to us, can you please open your microphone? Are you afraid?
Mr. So, I just forgot. That's all.
Oh, number. Look, is that a fair question? I see it's kind of a little bit vain. If they're a copybook, the children will go to school. If they're food, the children still gotta eat to go to school to even get strength before they can even look in the copybook to study. Now there's no election.
This is the harvest season in Liberia. Harvest season in Liberia as a whole.
George taking a tactical position. The liberal.
Yes. What I think that is disconcerting in terms of to where if that's the case, I think at this time these people are what my opinion, they continue to throw the entire country backward. When back in the early 80s, late 70s or something like that, early 80s when Gerald Warren came to power, one of the things he was doing, he was turning to Ghanaians to make farm. He brought in so many tractors for Ghanaians to engage in farming. I'm not saying that's what this government needs to do. But if you have an agriculture minister, my goodness, Bon County, Swakoko, the bread basket of Liberia, and you're going to send some more 1,000 bags of rice? Are you telling me that people in Bon County don't have food to eat? This is what I'm talking about, disrespect. Even if you're going to send food to Bon County, that Mike Jabate going to go distribute rice in Bon County, why can't you have the county leadership come and pick the rice up, and then they know where and what they think the hunger is in their county? Mike Jabate going to determine who in Bon County is hungry?
Now, I think this is one of the biggest problem here. The messenger people that proxy the affairs of these people here. These are people that are also can say all sort of things out there, and people put serious eyes on them, keeping eyes on them, and then to turn around to be the good Samaritan to go deliver something. Is that a critical point? Because
Mr. So
delivering, his presentation will be far different when he tour or whoever bought these rights in questions we are talking about. That would be a little bit far different.
Mr. So, once again, that's the form that I'm talking about of being disrespectful to one another. First thing is this: Bon County. We all know the history of Bon County and food business in Liberia. They are hard workers. These are not people that go out and let people to give their hand out. They don't do that. Bon County, Lofa County, Nima County, most of the counties, they don't go with hand out. They're hard workers. We know these things. Even those of us that grew up in Monrovia, went to the grown-up people business in Monrovia. In Lofa County, better man or Loma young man, the mom will be selling better ball, and their children will be going to LU. They're hard workers. I'm not saying it's a bad idea to take rice to Bon County, but I'm speaking from this perspective, and that is respect for one another. Bon County have a leaders. Bon County have a leadership. If you're going to distribute rice in Bon County, you first of all tell the leadership to identify segment of Bon County where you think the hunger is, where you think your rice will do a good service instead of political rice.
Who will be the beneficiary?
Exactly. But now, if you're going to send rice and send Mike Jabete, that's political rice. That's disrespect to the people of Bon County. And I think we should try to stay away from these kinds of
What's
stuff.
the classification? What's the category you place that? Political rice?
Yeah, political rice.
The man professes to be a liberal, but his thinking is always on the other side of the wall.
Oh my goodness! Please, spare me. Please, Mr. So I'm being very serious. I'm being very serious.
So let me just ask something. What is Samuel Twe connection to that country?
You are a son of Bon County. Tell us, is the father from there, or who, or the whole dual citizenship in the country?
I mean, Liberia, you can live anywhere. I mean, but I'm wondering, what is his connection to that country?
Mr. George, Mr. George, and this is what I'm going to be doing now. Politically, I'm going to speculate here. This right business with Samuel Twe, it's a little bit deeper. I think I would suspect the issue with the vice president and the president most likely is part of this calculation on the part of Samuel Twe and his people. You know, but you cannot come to this kind of thing.
What? Is that a peace pipe?
No, far from it. Far from it. It's a poison well. It's a poison well. It's a poison well. And if I was somebody from Bon County, we will reject the rice. We will reject the rice because the right is not being given based on mutual understanding. This is a political right that is a poison well that is based on speculation that said that because of the issue with the vice president, therefore they're trying to divide and conquer. Mr. So we know these things.
Let's dwell into one of our onliners. I tweet here or comment here for discussion purposes. Francis, does it say to undermine the vice president? How can we arrive at that?
Mr. So that's exactly what this is. This is what exactly I'm just saying this. Why would Samuel Twe try to take rights to Bon County? First of all, Bon County has a daughter who is your vice president. If you're going to be doing something like this, the vice president, first of all, must be on the north, number one.
Yeah?
You see, I get a video.
I want to see. Is that Jabate talking?
That Jabate and Christmas City.
So,
Mr. So, this is what I'm talking about. The idea of not being civil in our discussion, it will cause us problem. You remember the radio station young man who tried to insult the vice president, and up to this time he's still on air.
He insulted her.
Yeah, and now we have Mike Jabate, another young person, and Silly, another young person, now trying to inject himself into Bon County politics. This is not right. Not that they can't do it, but if you're going to do such thing, you must do it with honesty. You can't come out of it because sooner or later people will find out what you're trying to do. And then whatever thing you try to do after that, even if you want to be sincere, people will always say that's not sincere.
Yeah. And that's the problem.
Okay, I think in time to come, we will definitely. So let me just play into you guys' mind here. You guys don't see it as authentic. Is something on these slaves of these people? Is that how you been viewed? How you see it?
For me, it's not authentic because Minister Twe had never done anything for Bon County since he became minister. Never. And when last year in Bon County,
why he doing it? The way he doing it now, he has never done it in the past, but he doing it now. So, should we question his level of what? We should question the motive. Doing it?
Yeah, I question the motive because Samuel Twe had never visited Bon County on his own. Okay, Christmas season, the day after Christmas, he got someone speaking that he is being designated by somebody to carry 2,000 bags of rice and some assorted food to certain time along the way going to Bangna.
Why Jack? Why not Jack? It should be the one to deliver it. First of all,
but that's the first question.
He's not. I'm not sure whether he's working with the Ministry of Finance or aide to Samuel Twe. Labor, do you know whether he worked with Samuel Twe?
No, I don't. And
does he have a
again,
humanitarian? But he been making some delivery. I don't know. Does he have an any organization that involving delivery of some sort of? Does he have an organization?
But this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. You have, if these things were sincere, you have people from Bon County. Even if you want, let's just be ridiculous and say we want to be Bon specific. So they have humanitarian agency that are operating in Bon County, or you have citizens from Bon County that are part of the CDC government. If you want to do something like that,
this is what I've been looking for. Now you getting out of the liberal share and coming home to a free world thinker. They have a humanitarian organization. They have agency. Every county district somehow. This problem has been the problem with all of our state actors. And as if though they do not have people that have, they do not have advisors, communications experts with them as to how they should channel their humanitarian gestures or humanitarian intervention. What you do, you work with local here. I don't understand. Even in the USA, you see little organizations, right? They are there speaking, and when there's any sort of federal or local assistant coming, they give it to those people so that everybody will have some sort of responsibility. But our official, other than they prefer to care for themselves because everybody want to be seen in the camera. But all you need to do, you give it to those people. You have your workers there to go and help to supervise, to observe, to see how the process has been done. You give your press release, get your news story. That's it. You don't have to work outside of other organizations that are working. That's how most of the organizations were.
Mr. So, I will not be surprised. I will not be surprised. A day or so from now, you see the video of the vice president telling the Bon County people, when they bring the rice here, you're going to eat it. When they bring the rice here, you're going to eat it. You're going to listen to them. That want money. That don't have money. They start stolen money. I will not be surprised to see the video like that a few days from now. But on a very serious note, what is happening is for Samuel Twe, who I consider to be one of
the vice president is getting to be unleashed. The gloves is like, it's politically, she's in a good political fight.
She right now, she in a fight for her life. And so right now, and I told you before, on this program, I say those people will not make up again because I said the bad blood has set in. But you were asking about Mike Jabade. Let me tell you a little bit about Mike Jabade. I follow him. Mike was one of those who was speaking against the government at the time. He one of those sedition. And he was rich, and he used to cost President Weah. And he used to go around the counties, get vulnerable people, children, women, and show them people from the opposition camp will send him money to help those people, those children, pay children's school fees. So Mike was the opposition people here in the had glued to him. They were sending him money, everything. And he made a 360 turn to go back. He said he was going back to CDC, which many of the opposition felt that he betrayed the cause. They angered him today up to now. So he went back to CDC, said he had gone back home. And so now he one of those who propagate the message for CDC. So today, when I saw the video, someone forwarded the video to me. I saw here Christmas Silly Horse. They were there dancing. Then he came on to speak that he told Christmas, "Oh, I'm leaving for Bon County because Minister Twe had given me 2,000 burgers with some other assorted food and things to distribute to a certain time in Bon County." So that way, when you mention that, when Mr. Twe mentioned about people giving food and things, then I want to ask about what is the motive at the time? Okay, that's now 5-6 bags of rice. You're talking about 2,000 bags of rice plus. You don't think the county official, local officials.
Let's go on the flip side. I don't want to interrupt you. The liberals already put a stigma on it to say it's a political right. So why this right wasn't given during the heat of the election to elevate to solidify the positions of the ruling establishment? So why would they wait? If it is a political right, why would they wait after the real political season is over and to be so benevolent like that?
Well, I would tell you, the state, they are not giving the one to undermine the vice president. They are undermining her. So they will do everything
to be the person that is not caring for her people, or constituents, or other people coming and making the intervention.
And to tell them that, hey, you see, she don't want to work with the government. This is why you're suffering. This is why we are there. We want to make sure we work with everybody. So they are trying to find people who the thing will turn against her. Because so there's no reason. Any sound person, any reasonable person will figure out what is going on. If somebody want to help you, why he can't go up Maryland? I think they say he's from Maryland. Why he can't go there? I want to know.
Do you agree with me?
Well, I think the rice going to Bond County by itself, in that respect, I have not. I mean, I really don't have much against that. My issue is Bond County is Liberia, and if Samuel Toy and his people see the need to say they want to bring some sort of a relief to our brothers and sisters in Bond County, that's fine. But it must be done with respect. Because people from Bond County, even though they are Liberian citizens, but they are also respectful.
Do we have all of the details now on the labor, or are we just jumping ahead of our shot?
No, I'm just saying based on the information,
So let me hold you there. Why is President we are called Benina Ure and gave him food during that time to take to the people of Kirisburg? President we are. And we all people talking about it. Say Benina Ure has been compromised. And people said, no, Benina Ure is the son of Kirisburg. So if the president called him and gave him a relief to give to the people, he's not supposed to turn down, he's supposed to carry it. So if somebody to it,
that was a strategic move on the part of the president, because picking a prominent person within that corridor from that area there. Look, I know with all of these things here, but I'm trying to make a humanitarian interventions. Let me look for one of the prominent son or daughter of Kirisburg, and Benina Ure being the person in the opposition bloc. Look, let me reach out to this guy here, and once he gets there, the possibility of these people to deny that could not happen. And
but Mr. So, yes, what I believe. The Benina Ure issue, okay? Why people Liberians are very cynical, and they will turn anything to say what happened here, you know, have a lot of questions. But Benina Ure's situation was very interesting because even though people say Benina Ure have been
a big difference now.
Yes, because when Benina Ure was contacted, Benina Ure has the ability to, because he's from Kirisburg, he lives with the people in Kirisburg, so he has the ability to identify where this particular help can be utilized. Same thing in Bond County. This is my argument. I think Samuel Toy and his people should have contacted officials of Bond County and have that conversation to say, where do you guys need help? People from Bond County should be able to say, we need help this way, specifying the location of where the help going to be.
How should we those places?
Hold on, Mr. So. Hold on. So no, hold on, 1 minute. So the second thing was going to happen is, okay, here at the rice, you have identified, but I still want my people to be there for us to get the credit, which is okay. But then your people will have to work within the confine of whatever strategy that is being set up by Bond County leaders.
here. Let me see here. I'm just trying to make an educated guess here by virtue of his name here. Charles Flomo. He been tweeting here. Let's see here. So you guys sure she cares for us? I'm quite sure they're using that word. My guess here, maybe he's a son of Bond County. Looking at the second tweet that he's sending here, this vice president have no plans to help the people of Bond County. Is he being judgmental, or is that a fact he's here?
No, he's entitled to his opinion, Mr. So. He can write his opinion. That's fine, but that doesn't mean I should agree with it.
Let me say this. As Mr. So stated, that's his opinion. He's entitled to it. But I can tell you, and Mr. So, I mean, everybody knows him for this. I did criticize the vice president on statements she made before, and she went back to apologize. But for anybody to be sitting down there and thinking that I can tell anybody in Bond County, Joel Howard is the most popular politician in Bond County. That's it. I got my disagreement with her, but she's the most popular person in Bond County, the politician. When she speaks, the people listen to her. You may not like her, but that's a reality. Now, to the question that she has no plan, that's his view. But what I can say, there is a leadership crisis in Bond County. And one of those things was Mr. Henry Yala. He was one of the architects of those things. Henry Yala and Mervyn Cole. There been problem in the country. That's why I see, let me say this. That's why I see Henry Yala. So they now win even 10 votes in his own time. Seriously.
All right.
Election district away from.
We gotta leave it.
Just on this note, the rest issue by Mike Jagabere to go distribute in Bond County, I think it's just a gross disrespect to people. Because if the leadership not involved, I don't know what is the role of Mike Jagabere and some network there.
All right. Okay. We're going to leave it here. This is a very hard core issue. So what happens if we see another consignment go into two different counties? Would that change the narrative?
Mr. So let me tell you, I'm one of those who keep again giving people food. I prefer you empowering people. We have to get away from this thing here. Why people continue to get food? There's no drought in Liberia. There's no drought. If there's a drought, that's a different thing.
People are hungry. Do we know that?
Empower the people, train the people. That's what we need to do. Get away from this. I don't know, maybe that the term is the benevolent or dictator. We have to get away from this kind of thing here.
You are trying to wake up the liberal now because you're being quiet now because you're trying to waking up. The liberal, if there was a nice consignment to go to other two different counties, would that change the narrative of what we are talking here today?
It depends on what circumstances
what
those.
Are you talking about depend what?
Well, like I said, for me, my point that I'm sticking on tonight.
Take it to Totan. Will you call the people in Totan not to take it?
Depends on how it's been.
I want a definitive answer.
No, you can't have that kind of stuff of a liberal. What do you mean definitive? You think I just here to say yes, sir, yes, this, sir? No. I'm a liberal. I come to a situation from a broad perspective. I'm not here to give you one answer.
So my question is, if he's taking it to Totan today, will you tell Totan to refuse it?
I said depends on the circumstances. If somebody say Mike Jabate, say I'm going to Totan, I'm going to deliver rice to Totan, to the people in Totan, without getting the superintendent, without getting the district commissioner, without getting those leadership in Grand Jide County involved. Definitely, I will ask the Grand Jides in Totan to reject the political rights.
Well, Mr. So let me ask you.
Political rights. This is something I won't be surprised Monday that's going to be a talking point again.
But Mr. So let me ask you this. In a heat of the COVID-19.
In the what?
During the COVID-19 in Liberia, or June, July to August. That is the time the people suffer from food business. Nobody gave these people food in those areas. Nobody. Which everybody would have welcomed. Nobody. You wait the harvest time at this time, and you say, "Oh, I'm dispatching rest to the people as a humanitarian gift to the people." Really? I don't want people in any sector of life. I don't want people getting free food. I believe the people
you strongly believe it's as a political ploy on the part of
it is a political ploy. There's something behind it. I can't lay my hand on it, but there's a motive.
Okay. All right, guys. Political race. We're gonna leave it.
So we can cook some food.
So we can cook some food. DJ Amflan. All right. All right, my bad, guys. We want to leave it here. This event, the Lpr, I want to thank you so much, Pa George. Lpr, what are we going with today? What are we taking home?
Well, to close, Mr. So, I want to take this opportunity again to the many thousands of Liberian Public Radio followers. A happy holiday to you guys. Whatever when you come on here and turn to us, give us the energy to do what we do every day. We appreciate it. Not that you don't have anything to do but to watch us, but the fact that you're coming and turning to us, we appreciate it. It shows the signs of respect, and they show that you care for what we do. And therefore, we will continue to do what we do, to do it better for all of us, to be able to enjoy. And that's why when we come out here under the leadership of Mr. So, we are not allowed to use language that we would not want anybody to use on us, to use it on what opposition or anybody.
You say you're going to face suspension. You know that.
There we go. There we coming through a bishop weight around again, but that's what he does. He fired me for 14, 15 times a day. But anyway, the point here, my brothers and sisters, I want to thank all of you for your continued support, because when you tune into us, it gives us the energy to do what we have to do to bring you information. Mr. So will come on, and then sometimes he comes on air with live interview from reporters from Liberia. So this is what we try to do. And we'll try to distinguish ourselves, LPR, from the rest of the group. We are, and we consider ourselves intellectual platform. I want to thank you, Mr. So. I want to thank you, Mr. George. And of course, I also want to thank our brother, Zagolo, who is not here with us tonight. Of course, he's spending a wonderful, wonderful holiday with his family. Mr. Zagolo, happy holiday to all of you. And Mr. So, happy holiday towards you as well. I'm waiting for Mr. Cry. Mr. Cry will be here before the end of the year. Now I will see what kind of peanut he's bringing. I'm waiting for it.
Here is the good news for you. The possibility of you returning your job as board member in 2021. I'm not sure whether is a.
Well, that's what I like to know. If I'm the board chair, the board chair and the CEO who get power. No, the board chair and the CEO who get the power.
The other man come with political res, benevolent dictator, and all kinds of things. Hey, you know what I want to do? The Labour Progressive Party, where you find out what?
Thank you.
I would say thank you to Lpr, the family. And I would say thank you to Mr. Toll, his family, for giving him the time to speak to our people. And the CEO also for the time, the family allowed him to do this every time. I want to say thank you to everybody. And I want to say special thanks to my wife, my children, my sisters. I don't want to call names, but they know my sisters and friends that I hope as we enter the new year, let us be tolerant with one another. Especially the family of Lpr that tune in, that call in. to listen and to speak on issue. And to the Liberian family of Lpr-Tv in Liberia, to Mr. Dan and the rest of the team, they are doing a wonderful job. And I hope we all keep this spirit as we enter the new year. Thank you.
All right, well, folks, that does it this event. I'm Alfonso Z, and so with the Liberal Progressive, Samson Branto, and of course, our senior analyst, Pajoy from Atlanta, Georgia, right here in the USA. Gentlemen, I will get bonus. The year coming in from the board. What?
Why they gonna cut it? They always cut it.
We don't do bono business. What kind of bono you think that's because you CEO? We don't do bono business.
But when who have the power to fire you? Every day you come on your show, I know Mr. Two will fire me, and you board chairman.
I know what I'm gonna do. I will sanction his program beginning January 1st until he can speak the real Liberian English. All right, Samson Branto.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being part of this program. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So the ball be 14-year-old day again, Samson too.
Yeah. Okay, well, folks, that's how we're going to leave it here this evening. I want to thank you so much. We want to say a Merry Christmas and a happy, prosperous New Year. This is our man, DJ Anflan, taking our home. Look, we got to continue praying for our countries. We need to put up a new type, maybe a new way of doing things. We need to change our course if we want our country to excel, if we want things to change. I know it's hard because Liberians are enticed to getting certain things done, but we need to change that. So hopefully 2021 will bring a lot of new things, new discussions, new focus points, new conversation, a new way to address, to listen to our friends and our people that we even disagree with the purpose of finding common ground. Until then, folks, every good thing must come to an end. Time check here in the East Coast is 10:38 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am Alfonso Ziensot of the Liberia Public Radio 10 Lpr-Tv. I want to thank all of our viewers and followers. Listener, please also send a message inbox. You can call our personal number, the 682, that's the LPR hotline. You can send a text. You go to Liberia Public Radio to LIB Messenger, send us inbox your thoughts as to how we should conduct the program, what we need to improve on. Feel free to critique all, but hopefully you can do us a favor to supplement, to give her the idea, to give her the way forward. If there's certain thing that we are doing that doesn't really look right, I find a substitute for it. Don't tell us it's not right. And then we can fill that gap. All right. We are open to that. We don't usually come here for entertainment. We come here for quality, proportionate news sharing. If it was entertainment, forget it. I know how to do it. But we come here to talk about our country. We would disagree. We want to have a conversation to where we will all be able to listen to one another critically. And we shouldn't look at one side of the story. And that's what makes us a human being. We are not animals. So we have to give some things critical thought. And that's why we ask some questions. And some of you will say, but why is he asking that sort of question? We want to go deeper into the minds of their thinking, how they come up with this sort of conclusion, why they are doing what they are doing. So for those of you, the sociologists, psychologists, and all of that, there are a lot of things that factors into people's mind when they're doing stuff. So that's the basis of that. And we must give people the opportunity before we can adjudicate them. So we don't just say, oh, the person, what he's doing is wrong. Let's give them that conversation. Let's have that conversation. If they refuse, well, then based on that, we can figure out, we can sense out something to say, oh, this is perhaps what is happening. Well, until then, I want to thank you so much for being part of that, and all of our supporters, those that have contributed to us for past years, and even by just tuning into us. I think that is huge because of the love we have to the country. And so we are obliged that when we come here, we must be able to talk we must be able to talk things with sense, and we must be able to speak the language that should be the true representations of all of us as a Liberians, as a country, as a sovereign nation, one of the oldest republic. You know, like I said, many people are raising their alligators unknown to themselves. And it will continue on this strength. Believe me or not, it will never serve us good, because if it worked for you today, it could potentially work for the next person tomorrow. So that's the danger of it. Until we can continue to have this critical conversation, high core conversation, we'll be able to find a peaceful resolution, because these politicians, they have taken us for granted a lot. And all of them must be held accountable. The three branches of government. That's the reason that they are there. They have the constitutional mandate to do what is right. So we have to kind of like make a different game plan and look at these people. And people must be held accountable. Hopefully, as we all pray to triumphantly to roll into the 2021 year, whether you're seditions, you are Liberty Party, COP, or whatever party it is, that is okay. But until we can have that courage, conviction, strength, and in the interest of our country to question our leaders, those of you who support specific leader, that's okay to propagate somebody's agenda, but you must learn to also be able to look into their eyes and tell them when they are not doing what is right, to tell them, hey, because when that happens, guess what? The country is the direct beneficiary, and that's what is not happening. Until then, folks, we say happy belated Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Please, the virus is still alarming. Make sure you have all of the protocols in place. Do anything possibly you can to protect yourself. The life you save could be yours or that of a friend. That is important. You and I, you have thousands of people looking up to you back home. I don't care how we mad with them, politicians are pressing them. Whether we are citizens, they shouldn't get, but when the going gets tough and the tough gets going, they look up to us to do everything. Imagine many of you how many dollars that you have spent during this Christmas and holiday season. So without you, they can't do it. They can't just get it. Such is the situation. Until then, have a pleasant evening. Bye bye.